Volume 2.
Yeah. This is our show. Yeah. Introspective inside. Introspective inside. Peace, love, and all that good stuff. I am King Dev, and this is Introspective Insight, the Black Wall Street podcast. And we got a special guest in the building. He is not a stranger to the show. He was actually on episode 55, and we at 117, I think, right now. Magic Gretzky. What up, bro?
What up, man? What up, man? Appreciate you having me again.
Yeah, bro. No, I appreciate you for reaching out. I think there is a lot of pride. Pride aside in reaching out to, come on and talk about, your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, put yourself out there to either get rejected or not rejected.
Yep.
But I appreciate you for reaching out, because in this work, I really don't know who's watching and who's not watching. I don't really care who's watching, who's not watching. I just put stuff out, and whoever it touch, and whoever it don't touch, it don't touch. But I appreciate you for reaching out, because one, you got some dope music.
Appreciate it.
I mean, you wouldn't be on the show if you didn't have dope music. Let's just put that out there, right? I sent it to my cousin. My cousin listened to it. I sent it to my other cousin.
Oh, that's definitely love.
You know what I'm saying? So like, on some like, yeah, we gotta have extended conversation about your project. But before we get into it, because we've been talking for like, I don't know, 30 minutes before we even press record, I want to get into the word of the show and the quote of the show. So the word of the show is manumit. 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 For the ones that's listening, for the ones that's watching, it's already on the screen. And that means release from slavery, set free. I thought it was an interesting word. I like to put words on here that nobody would ever even need to spell or anything like that. And then the quote of the show is from the hip hop philosopher himself, KRS-One, where it says, hip hop is an idea. It is the pursuit of one's authentic being through the arts. It is not a physical thing. It is an attitude, even an aptitude. What's your thoughts on that?
I definitely agree. It is your attitude. Definitely your attitude. KRS, man, he don't get a lot of credit. He definitely need a lot of credit. Especially his idea of hip hop, his idea of rap, being an MC. He's somebody that I took a little listen to coming up, but I need to take a deeper dive. Like, I go and watch some of the interviews and some of the freestyles, and I love who he was and is to this day. So I definitely need to take another dive into it, like a deep dive, more than I do with other artists, because he's definitely underrated. And one thing I'm thinking about, do he be on the top 50 list?
Yes. He don't be high enough.
Yeah, he don't be high enough.
Be
right?
high enough.
Yeah.
He don't be high enough. We gonna get into that. We definitely gonna. I ain't leave you. Yeah, we gonna get into that. Yeah, he is. So I was just actually, when I was doing my research for this episode, he is like number 16.
16? Top 50?
On Complex list, top 50. He's under Nicki Minaj. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to remember the list a little bit.
Yeah, so he's like in between Nicki Minaj, who I think is 10, which is way too high, in my opinion. Way too high. 10, and he's 16, so 20 will be somewhere around, like, I think 50 Cent's like in the 40s on that list. I don't believe in them lists, because I don't know who.
No, I don't know who creating it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're memeasuring, and honestly,
sometimes I be thinking it's more success than it is like lyrics.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we gotta, when we talking about hip hop, we have to ground ourselves in the culture at its foundation when we making those lists, and then we have to also take the list and really identify, okay, so are we going off of discography? Are we going off of influence by culture? Are we going off of ability? Because one thing I said on our last episode that I stand 10 toes, and I'm a very much like evolved person, especially when it comes to hip hop now. Is if you influenced an artist, then you can't. If you influence the artist that you influence might not deserve to be over you.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
I don't know.
I don't. Reason why I don't agree with that is because I did martial arts, right? And in martial arts, the teacher teaches the student, the pupil, whatever.
Yeah.
But eventually, that pupil becomes better than a teacher. Right. So you wouldn't put that student above the teacher, even though he's a better fighter.
There's always a fun. So do you put Bruce Lee over his master?
Well, I never seen his master fight.
I'm just saying in the context of what we're talking about.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just because he's better than his master?
Yeah. Because what are we going off of? Who the better fighter, right?
Right, yes. But when we start to break it down like discography or whatever, you might be better than me in the craft, but you might not have a better discography because of how I approach my craft. So like when you create an album, you can never teach. It's almost like in sports, you can't teach heart.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's certain things that you can't teach, even if you are the greatest teacher of all time, right? Yeah. So when I say that, I don't say that from the level of like, okay, so I was making my list. I don't want to go too deep because that's the third part of the show. But when I was making my list, I put Cole up there.
Cole, where?
In my top 5.
In your top 5? Okay.
In my top 5. But then I was like, Cole says consistently that if it wasn't for Nas, he wouldn't be there. So for me to put Cole in my top 5 and not put Nas will be a solely emotional thing, and not like, yo, Nas did things in the culture that influenced the creation of Cole. So no matter how many times that we would have that debate, Cole does not exist without Nas. Yeah, so if I take Nas out of the top 5, in my opinion, then what I'm doing is I'm also taking away the influence to the culture, to the masses from Nas. Just like when we think about Kobe. Kobe is never on record saying he's better than Michael. Kobe says if it's not for Michael, Kobe doesn't exist. So that's one of those things where it's like we take the subjectivity out of it and we be objective. So Nas became an objective, you're top 5 because you influence boom, boom, boom. That's why I can never put like Eminem in my top 5, which I put him in my top 5.
You put
3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Or when you was on last on the show, I put him in my top 5. He's not in my top 5 no more.
Didn't I say something about that?
Yeah. You said Eminem. You said you really put Eminem? Yeah. You did say that. But that's a conversation we're gonna have in the third part. This ain't about the established. This is about what you got going on. But yeah, I do agree though that Karis one doesn't get the flowers that he deserved. I actually have his book.
Really?
Hip hop gospel. The gospel of hip hop. And it's so dope. It's written like, and this is one of those things where you just can't teach this. It's written like a Bible. And hip hop is the God, for lack of better terms. And I'm putting air quotes for the people that's just listening. But the teachings is love. It's so dope. Like when you think about what you get out of hip hop, what you've learned from hip hop, and the love that comes in the spaces where hip hop is predominant, that's what the book is talking about.
And he's a first generation. So
he's a first generation. He's watched it from its inception, from the high rides of Sedgwick, of the Sedgwick project. So that perspective doesn't live in anybody else but him, which is why he can be the hip hop philosopher. Yeah. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to check that book out. There's so many books I'm lacking on. Like this year I told myself I want to read more books. You know what book I got? Which is crazy what we were just talking about. Nipsey book. I'm at Nipsey books that he recommend. The Superior of Man, what's that
The
book?
Ways of Superior
The Way
Man.
of the Superior Man.
That's where I got that book from.
Nipsey.
Yo, I listened to it. I finished it.
You finished it?
I finished it. I do audiobooks.
Maybe
'cause
that's what I need to do. Audiobooks.
I can't sit. When I sit, I start to doze.
I think
doze
I
off.
think too much. So when I read, I be thinking about all other stuff like, oh damn.
Yeah.
And instead of listening, when I'm listening, and I can move around and listen at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the next level up, and some billionaires and people be saying this, but when you listen and follow along, your processing actually gets stronger.
Yeah.
Because you're listening to it, you're reading
it at the
and
same
then
time.
you can like annotate and write in the same. So I do that. So some books I didn't finish because I want to sit and read and listen to it, and I only do that on the plane or when I'm in the airport.
See, I tried Rick Ross. I got through half of it, and then life happened.
Yeah.
So if I listened to it, I would have got through it. Because if I could listen to a podcast or an album, then I can listen to somebody an audiobook or something like that.
Yeah, no. Audiobooks. Now when I go to the gym, I only listen to audiobooks. When I'm on the plane, I only listen to audiobooks. Or I don't really listen to podcasts on the plane. I tend to listen to books in times of transition. When I was on my way up here, listening to a book. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I matter of fact, I listened to Ways of a Superior Man on my way up here last time I was here and finished it. It was like a 4-hour listen. It's a 6-hour drive. Okay. Super dope.
Yeah, super dope. I really want to read it.
And now that you said Nipsey Hussle, because I got so many books. Club. I got so many books in my Audible, and I just don't know. Like, I don't know where you got it from. And when you say that, I'm like, oh wow, and that makes sense. Like the content in the book makes sense somehow. Nipsey
was, yeah.
Like that's one of those things where it's like it made sense. But yeah, I definitely recommend audiobooks.
Yeah,
definitely recommend that.
Yeah,
and do it in times where you got to focus your mind outside of when you create music,
right?
Or art, or
that,
like that.
Yeah,
that's too many words. Too many words. So you wanted to talk about your most recent project.
Yes, sir.
From Me to You.
Yes, sir.
Who is you?
Me.
You are you?
I'm you. Yeah. I am me and you is you.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell us more.
So from Me to You is basically me speaking to my past, present, and my future. And then I'm also speaking to you as the audience. So I wanted to be a little bit more vulnerable. I wanted to be a little bit more honest. Not too honest, but not too vulnerable, but just a little bit to give you more of my story. Because then, I released I released The Art of Growth, and that was like the beginning of everything. So when I released The Art of Growth, I knew I was going to get better as an artist. So that's the point of The Art of Growth. So now you're finna watch me grow through my career, and then when everything's happening, you can go back and look at The Art of Growth and listen to it like, oh, wow, he was saying this already. So then that's come The Growth Continues. Like, okay, I'm still growing. That came out 2 years after the Art of Growth. So I'm still growing, like as a man, as a person. I've been in a relationship, a long relationship. I dealt with, I'm speaking about women and the From Me to You, like my perspective of women and how my parents affected my relationship with women and my past relationship. Basically, The Art of Growth and The Growth Continues is not too vulnerable. It's like that my philosophy, like my logic. And then I wanted this one to be more me. But me and you getting to know me. So it's literally like kind of like a letter, but it's not a letter at the same time. That's what From Me to You is.
Yeah, I was as I listened to it. So I'm a hip hop head. And when you ask me to analyze, I'm gonna analyze.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big note taker. Everything is up here. I'm trying to get better at that. But and we talked about this on the first show. Like, I'm not a writer. I don't write. I don't free write. I just do it. Right?
Same with me, even with me.
So as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking. So one of the things was like, "Who is you?" And it's funny. It was like, "You is you, but you is also me." It reminds me of insert clip.
Rush Hour
3. Yeah, me. I'm not me. I just told her you. Who is you? I am you. Yeah. It reminds me of that, but to create it, that thickens the plot a little bit, especially of the of the track list and was it the Miseducation of Gretzky?
Miseducation of Magic.
Of Magic.
Yeah.
Right. Love.
Survival Greater Than Love.
Survival Greater Than Love. That's my favorite track.
Appreciate
on
it.
there. For multiple reasons. It's funny because that is my favorite track for the same reasons that Father Time is my favorite track on the first side, A side of Kendrick album. Where it's like there's elements of that we don't talk about as men.
Yep.
So when we engage that type of conversation, it just like, oh my goodness. And because I work with kids and I work broadly in community, like those type of conversations and those type of reflections are things that we need to see and hear more of.
Definitely.
So that's why it's like that's my favorite track.
And that was one of the first songs I made on that project. And there's different meanings to it. I don't know if you catch it or not, but it's different ways you can see it. You might see it a different way. I want to hear how you received it, but it's different ways you can receive that song.
Now I gotta listen to it again. Yo, I listened to the project 20 plus times.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Probably even more. Like I listened to it in different mediums, on the speaker, in my headphones. So when I shared it, that was my headphone listen. Headphone listen, bro. Everybody, headphone listen is a different experience because you pick up the different elements of the art. Whether it's you hearing things only on the left side, you're hearing things only on the right side, all of these different things, the things that's helping you tell the story. Matter of fact, from The Growth Continues, the poem track, smack dab in the middle, probably track 3, 4.
Yep.
Right? Listening to the cheering in the crowd, fire.
Appreciate it.
But from Me to You, the answering machine. That is a great transition into the next song. I don't know.
Oh, you caught that?
Yes.
You caught that?
Yes. Yo, when I tell you, I have to talk about it a little bit to like bring it back up because I've listened to it so many times. And like I said before, I love concept albums. It has nothing to do with when I'm listening to things, I'm listening for skill and style.
Yep.
I'm not listening for wordplay or whatever because it don't matter if you Wayne. Wayne is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jay is different. You know what I'm saying? They have other people as much as they write themselves. They also have other people who write better than them in their corner. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye ate from being in Hove corner. You know what I'm saying? Being around Pharrell. There's a point in his documentary where Pharrell is saying like, no, be that person because that person is what got me like, wow, that's what you mean by through the wire? Like that's when you have those type of influences, then that affects the way that you engage in
greats
craft.
Being around greats.
Yeah. So when I'm listening to it, I'm trying to figure out where is the stints of greats, the greatness, and what can be maximized. Now, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you kind of continue to kind of reflect on what I'm saying. What I do also look for is that radio track.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna speak on that too.
I'm looking for that radio track. And I'm not looking for the radio track to say like this is it, but naturally I'm looking for the radio track. And the reason why is because a lot of the times, similar to first album, with the exception of Kendrick, because his first album probably had
5, 6. Oh, don't forget 50 either. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, 50, but 50 had the vehicle of the movie behind it. So
Get Rich or Die Trying. What was that? A couple years after?
Yeah, but he also had the vehicle of the reason why he told Nipsey to only release mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? He ran the mixtapes. He was mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? But there's an element of being able to try things within the concept of whatever you're doing. I tell my cousin this all the time. Like he's a producer, so he produced a lot, and then he just like creates songs.
Was that the person you sent me?
Yeah.
So I definitely heard that, and I like the. He made those beats.
Yeah.
Oh. Now I gotta go back and listen to it.
He made those
because
beats.
the
And
beats is
he
what I
mixed,
like. I'm like, yeah, I like the difference. Like he himself.
bro.
That's what I like. I think one of them is called Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, I
My
like
favorite track. Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
Lone Man's Journey is my favorite one.
I like that one too.
Did you catch?
I gotta go back. Now that you telling me that, like, you know how you listen your first listen, it's like, yeah, that felt good. I liked that. I like the sound of it. I didn't go back and listen to it 2-3 more times. I went and listened the first time. I said, oh yeah, this sounds good. This is good.
What I'll say is there's a point in I think Lone Man's Journey where he speaks Japanese.
Oh yeah, I caught that.
Oh, okay.
I caught that. Yeah. I caught that.
Yeah.
Because that's when I said, "What the fuck?"
I was tracking for a second. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it all was smooth. So it wasn't like a. So I always tell people, like, when I hear music, it gotta go like this. Sometimes it can go like this, and that's just that. Oh yeah. But it was just smooth. Like I didn't catch. It wasn't like a wave of stuff. Like I was thrown off. It was like, oh, he's speaking a different language, and it all was just smooth. I'm like, oh yeah, he under something different.
Yeah. And so all of that, I say all that to say, like, even with him, he goes away from, because I just think that you're gonna say this, but he goes away from sticking to the radio track,
as you should,
which is fine. And I'd never tell him, like, bro, I'm just saying, like, this is something that you should be releasing, like on some like Russ. You know how Russ released a track every week or whatever he said he did. Like, yo, what you sitting on that for? Just release it. You know what I'm saying?
Because the world won't know.
Because the world won't know, and you don't know what you don't know until you know that you don't know it. But then again, when you know that hit, it changes. Fly on a Boss. They don't make a complete song, but they touring. Like they got complete songs just because of the power of social media or whatever. So anyways, I don't feel like you got a radio track on there. What is that intentional?
Yeah. I'm not making anything for radio. Wait. What song you talking about? What?
No, I'm just saying in general.
In general. Okay.
No song gave me this is a radio track.
Okay.
And that can be that's not a one size fit all thing. That's just like,
you talking about from me to you or his?
From yours. From me to
from
you.
mine? You didn't think Going to November is a radio track?
We gonna end up having a listening party. Just so, because I'm not. Okay, so let me break down what I mean by radio track. When I think of radio track, I think of a track that was made to be on radio. A track that's maybe high energy.
Okay.
A track that is like, it's a vibe and it's made to be a vibe. And it can, radio tracks ultimately they go into the club, and play like that. I don't think any of these songs fit that criteria.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Because that's pretty much what it is. You think about like Players by Coi Leray. She made that.
Yeah.
That to be on the
TikTok
radio,
radio,
it was made for that. And that's not a
it's not
a bad thing.
No,
at
not
all,
at all. No. Get your money.
Part of, I'm just looking to see, because some people try to throw that track in there and they got the star right next to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it got that single. But when you really making music, like when you think about, when we're going back to our Nipsey conversation, think about Crenshaw or Slauson Boy, there ain't no track on there that would be on the radio because the Nipsey used to talk about it all the time. I make music for me.
Right.
I don't make music for everybody else. And you just said that.
Same thing. So me with that, no, I'm not looking. I tried that before and I wasn't myself. So I need radio. I need a radio track. For what? For what? Nobody even know who I am right now. So when am I making this radio track for? I mean, it's the potential of it actually going somewhere, but for it to go somewhere, sometimes you got to put a lot of money behind it. So I didn't truly believe in those radio tracks. So now I just make music for me. Like whatever I feel that is good, whatever it sound good to me, that's just what it is. I'm not going to go and make, oh yeah, this is radio right here. This is a radio track right here. again, I did do it. People love the song. About It, one of the songs. And Left Right, I made like twerk songs. But I just wasn't fully.
But that's outside of who you are.
Exactly. Though. But this is the thing. So I make music off of my life. So that point in my life, I probably like seeing ass.
Yeah,
might
you
have
did
been,
say that.
Yeah, that might just been where I was at in my life. So I probably made that song, heard the beat, listened to it. I'm like, damn, this remind me of some ass. Like being this remind me of some ass. So I'm gonna rap about some ass right now. It's not like I haven't been in the strip club. No, I've been in the strip club. I know the atmosphere. So that's when I created it. But then when I released it, it's like, I don't think I should have even did that song. Like, that's not even me. That's not something I want to push out. So that's why I don't do like mainly radio songs.
Okay. But okay, so I'm thinking people.
Now let me ask you this, because this is what that song is. Going to November, right? People will say it's a radio song. You know what that song? You probably don't catch it, but I was trying to imitate 3 Stacks.
No, I didn't catch it at all.
I was trying to imitate him.
Well, that's literally what my next question is. What is the significance of November? That's your second. Well, because it's crazy because one of the songs off of the project that we talked about back in 2018.
Oh yeah.
Black
390 East in November. 490 East in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about that a minute. I'm like 490 November. And it was like, you're like, yeah, that was that. Like, yo, November. There's November again.
I'm a Scorpio, and that's my birthday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My birthday month.
So gone
till November. It's actually me speaking in the future, my future self. You ain't catch that.
Tell us more.
So when you listen to the answer machine, what do she say?
She says she's
exactly. And if you listen to it, she said, "I'm in Paris."
Yes.
The next song, I say,
she's gone.
I don't care. I say, I don't say the actual bar, but I say something like, "I don't care where you at. I'll come in Paris." I'm speaking to, because we both on tour. So I'm speaking to her, but it's my future self.
Bro. That's fire. Once you said what she said on the answer machine, I'm thinking
going to
because
November.
you
That's
made
me on tour right now at the moment. It's going to November. I'm on tour. So at this moment right now, I will be on tour until November, which is when my birthday. I'm back.
Yeah,
it's holiday season.
Yeah, it's reset. And
reset.
You also, and it's crazy because I didn't make that connection, but I made the connection of like cuddle season.
Yeah. Which is
because
November.
You did say like, I don't know what the line is.
Can't wait till I'm home so we can cuddle through the winter.
Yeah, cuddle through the winter. So I'm like, okay, now that makes sense. I'm just more so like keying in on the November piece, but then thinking about the voicemail. Gone to November is right after or after the track after?
It's before. It's before the answer machine.
November. Yeah, and then the answer machine, and then it's the
used to.
The used to part 2. Yeah. Yo. Dang.
And then when I'm saying 3 Stacks, 3 Stacks start and of I choose you. So so I said, I sigh. Gone to November.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I was trying to imitate 3 Stacks at that moment.
Right.
And then that song right there, I don't cuss. So that was like an achievement for me. I didn't cuss. Like, there's no clean version and no explicit. It's just that's the song. And I'm really proud of that. That's that song. That means my lyricism went to another level. I don't have to cuss. I didn't have to say nigga. I didn't have to, none of that. It's just rap.
See, now I'm okay. So one thing, I added your project to my Blackity Black playlist. I really have
Magic on there.
No, the whole track, the whole thing.
Appreciate it.
Mainly because one, I like the few references that you have. You have Farrakhan on there.
Yes.
You have
Dion
on there. Yo, where's my thing? Yo, every time it's hype, right? The miseducation of Magic. That's second favorite. Second favorite track. I like all of them. It's only 7 on there, so if y'all go and listen to it, it's only 7. Like
Yep.
it's not a hard listen. It's a great listen. I recommend headphones because you get the full experience. If you have noise cancellation, go ahead and cancel out that noise. I think it's a great listen, mainly because there's intention. I feel the intention in each track as it flows from the beginning, and even like the growth continues. The when I got to the ending and it flew straight, I have everything on my loop. So when it ended and flowed directly into the first track, I'm like,
I haven't done that, so I don't know how it sounds.
Yo, it sounds it's almost like. So when I was listening to my cousin, EP or project, I don't know what people, y'all call it all the time, EP, LP, all that stuff.
EP.
I'm trying to create an attachment to it. So when I'm thinking about visuals, I've listened to it so many times because I want to do something like what Beyonce did with the Lion King soundtrack.
Yeah,
make the visual album,
the video,
and everything flows into the next one. I want to create something like that, right? So that's why it's on the loop. So I'm listening to it, and I don't know. I can't tell you how many times I listened to his project, but part of it is I'm not thinking about it. I'm listening to it while I'm typing emails, and I'm like, oh, that's fire. Boom, boom, boom. And it flowed back to the beginning. So I'm already in track 2. I'm like, wait a second. This restarted already.
Wow. I haven't done it. I'll be on to the next thing.
Bro, and that's fine. Because it's not your job to continue to listen to it. And because you might get caught in like, I should did that better. I should
I do that all the time.
Yeah, nah. And that's the same thing with me. Once I put out, we were just talking about it. Once I put this stuff out, I'm on to the next
thing. Yeah.
I can't sit and just because I'm gonna beat myself up for like audio and there's some stuff that I'm sitting on that I'm not putting out because I just don't feel like it meets my quality standard. You know what I'm saying? So now that's dope. I thoroughly enjoyed listening
really
to
appreciate it. For real.
Both of them. So when we first, do you still think? Let me go back. Do you still record by yourself?
Yes, sir.
How does that? How has that evolved?
So it really haven't evolved. It's just my lyricism is evolved. Like it did evolve a little bit. So the Corey Gunn song, "Give Up," that whole
dope
track. Verse, I had in my head for about a month. So I didn't lay it down. Yeah, I didn't lay it down. I didn't say nothing. I just kept rapping it to myself. And sometimes I'll just go off and then hear the beat for days, and then I'll come back, listen to it. Now I rap it again, make sure it sound right. Because I knew who I was gonna have on that song. And so that was when I was impressed with myself. Like I just rapped this whole verse nonstop. Perfectly how I wanted it. I ain't have to go back and change the word, none of that. And that's where the growth come from. Like that's where I see the growth. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm on to something now with this. No, I don't write, so no writing, just going in there and record. So that was the improvement.
How did you get to that level of retention? Because I just want a preference. When I have a dream about a show that I'm thinking about that I didn't write, and I try to recall half of that stuff, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So I started rapping when I was like 7, right? Born in the 90s, started in 7. My big brothers, I started because of my older brothers. So all I heard was Biggie don't write. Biggie don't write. So when I started rapping, when I seen them rapping, and I went in there and sneak and try to rap, not what I'm trying to do. Don't write because Biggie don't write. Why am I writing? Oh, now Jay-Z don't write. Oh, I really shouldn't be writing that. So that's all I knew is don't write. So it's just, I beat it in my head like, okay, boom. When I go to the studio, I listen to the beat, whatever feeling or whatever I feeling the beat is giving me, that's what I'm going to say. Or what's on my mind, that's what I'm going to say. And sometimes I chop it. Sometimes it's a bar. stop, think. Bar, what it used to be bar, stop, think, bar, stop, think, bar, stop, think. Now it's just flows.
That's dope.
So that's the improvement.
So then how do you come up with a concept?
The beat, the feeling that the beat gives me. And then, so from me to you, I went into it knowing what I was going to talk about. I knew Miseducation of Magic. I knew that was going to be one of the songs. Like I said, it's time for me to talk about this. This I wanted to talk about in the growth continues, but it wasn't the time for me to talk about it. I didn't hear the right beat. It's all divine timing. Everything divine timing with me. It's not the right beat. It's not the right time. I heard this beat. All right, this it. This it right here. This the one. This the one where I'm going to talk about that subject. The Give Up song, the sample gave me that. Okay, I'm already in this. I was already in that pocket, and the growth continues. This is gonna be easy for me. From me to you, I needed that beat. I needed an intro beat like that. I was shopping for that. That was the last song I made. I was shopping for an intro beat like that. But I knew the first thing I was gonna say, from me to you, there's nothing but the truth. I knew that was gonna be the bar. I already knew it. I just needed a beat that was gonna fit it, and it was pleasing to my ears.
So in the totality of a concept album, how do you maintain synergy from track to track if you're not writing them down?
So I gained inspiration and motivation from this. I was in writer's block because my goal was to put 2 EPs out in 1 year, which I did. Growth Continue came out in March. This came out in January. So I completed my goal. I had writer's block from when the Growth Continue came out all the way to August. Now, my cousin don't know, but he hit me up in August and said, let's go to Jay-Z Book of Hope. All right, cool. Mind you, I'm not even thinking about music. Like, I don't have no inspiration, nothing inspiring me. I done been to artists studio sessions. I sat there listening to them. Still, nothing's coming out of me. So I go to the Book of Hope, right? I sign my name. I'm not gonna say what I put on there. I just signed my name. Then I looked around. Then I went in another room. Then I went in another room. Then the last room I went into, that blue room, it's a blue. You ever been to the Book of Hope? You ain't gone? Yeah. So
I wanted to.
It was a room that was blue, and it had a bunch of stuff in it. So I was the only person in there, right? If you go in the back, I was the only person in there. It was a video playing. So the video I was in the middle of the video, and people started walking out. So I walked in, and I watched the entire video by myself. Nobody walked in. Again, it'd be divine time. I'm a huge on God and faith. Divine time, I just sat there and watched it. And it was him and his family, and I think his grandmother was talking or something like that. And that's when it hit me like, I'm bugging out. I gotta go home and record. I need to go be a little bit more vulnerable in my music so people can know a little bit of my story. Not the full story, but just give them something. And from that moment, I'm like, all right, I'm about to go record. And I'm going to keep it vulnerable. And I'm going to keep, you know what I'm going to name it? Oh, From Me to You. Because this is my past, future, and present. So speaking to y'all, because I know what's going to happen in the future. Y'all just don't know. So that was my whole concept. Like, okay, I seen the Grammys. There's Grammys in there. There's Grammys. There's all these awards. I see the Rockefeller stuff. I said, you know what? He was talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, he manifests all of this.
Yeah, Hov always talked about.
But at the same time, I'm listening to Killer Mike. So when I go into recording mode, I don't listen to nothing. So the last album I heard was Killer Mike. And Blueprint. I was listening to the Blueprint. So that whole time I was recording that was Blueprint and Killer Mike. I don't listen to no new music at all. Jeezy drop, Doja Cat drop. So many people dropping, but I'm not listening to it. I don't ever want to be in the car and you playing it. No. I don't think I was around people for the months. Like, I told everybody, I ain't even merch. Nope. I ain't even worried about that right now. I'm focused on this. And that's where it all was coming from, which probably was the influence I'm thinking about was to Killer Mike, how vulnerable he was. And as you can see, I put Farrakhan because I heard Farrakhan and his, and then
it goes with the concept.
But the divine timing again. I'm on TikTok. Boom, I hear that. Oh shit. And I just said I was gonna make this song. Divine is just divine timing. Everything divine timing for me.
You know, that's crazy that you said that. Like listening to
Hov and Killer Mike is all I listen to from August until November.
Like Michael Killer Mike?
Yeah.
Like his most recent album?
Yep. That's all I listen to.
It's so crazy that you say that because I put down in my notes when I was like listening to it because like I told you, I listened to this so many times. I wasn't always in front of my computer. I was either walking to the store or, you know what I'm saying, just trying to really gauge how I'm feeling. And this project put me in, I told my cousin this and I told both my cousins, but the one that's here and then the one that made the music, I said this project takes me to late 90s, early 2000s.
Modified.
Blueprint is early 2000s,
Yep.
so I'm there. Like that 1995 to 2005, Blueprint is right in that time. Michael is not there, but Killer Mike comes from that era.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Being
So
with Outkast and all that.
Yeah, so even
Dungeon Family.
Yo, that's fire. Because as I'm listening to, again, I said this the first time when we first met and you was on the show before, and I was like, I couldn't really put my finger on. Excuse me, I couldn't really put my finger on what, like, if you sound like anybody, which you still don't sound like anybody.
Thank you.
I think I can put you in the same. I can align you with some artists like Vic I can't talk. Vic Mensa, right? Conscious rapper. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick. I'll put you in with Crit. You listen to Big Crit?
Yeah.
Mainly because after listening to you do everything
I'm
yourself.
glad you said Kendrick too, because he helped me as well. So it was Killer Mike. Those are the main things. Killer and Michael and Blueprint, right? And then Kendrick last album. Those is the only thing I'm listening to. So I'm going in the shower and I'm listening to these songs. I'm like, because I had somebody that passed away. So I went and listened to Kendrick album. If I don't listen to no new music. So I go back and I normally listen to old music. I listen to Marvin Gaye or something like that. But this time I wasn't in that mood. I wanted to hear just rap, hip hop. And Kendrick, that album was phenomenal to me. So I went back and I said, if I'm going to pull something vulnerable from myself, I need to go back and hear somebody else be vulnerable. I hear Killer Mike being vulnerable, but hear somebody else from a whole different perspective, whole different life. And that helped me as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I've been listening to Mr. Morale and Big Steppers. I listened to it. I started when I got closer here, and I was listening to it before I got here to the studio. And that, even the transition from Mr. Morale and then to the Big Steppers, transition phenomenal. I mean, the first track talking about United in Grief, right? Father Time, my favorite track off of that, which, like I said, it reminds me of survival greater than love. It got. I'm looking
sign.
at the
it's
sign.
The sign
It's the sign that's messing me up. Like, wait, is it greater or is it less? Like that. But the vulnerability of like being able to talk about Father Time, even We Cry Together, right? The vulnerability around the toxic cycle of being with somebody because you were with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. It taps into a different element of what it is, and people don't like. Kendrick went writer's block is a thing. Kendrick went through writer's block.
Oh yeah, Biggie did too.
Biggie,
the greatest people. Yeah,
everybody go through writer's block, and it's what you draw the inspiration. So to that point, what's some, because per our other conversation, what are some artists from the 60s, from the 50s that your dad listened to that inspire your music now? Because both the growth continues and From Me to You has this like very unique melodic flow to it from start to end, to where it's like you don't get that from a concept. You get that, like Biggie got that from Faith. You know what I'm saying? So you only get that from listening or engaging in spaces that have those melodic tones and rhythms and stuff to it. So what's some artists that you listened to growing up or you still listen to today that influenced that melodic take on your music?
Man, I just watched The Temptations the other day. Marvin Gaye, Otis Redding. One of my idols is Rick James. I'll go back and listen to some things that he wrote with Tina Marie and Eddie Murphy. Again, Temptations, I like to listen to Eddie Kendricks. I like to listen to David Ruffin. And when I say like to listen to, I'm not listening to it with the beat. I'll go and listen to a cappella. Michael Jackson, I listen to the young Michael Jackson 5. I listen to a cappella. Man, it's so many artists. I listen to Frankie Lyman. That's the 50s. It's literally all Al Green, Luther Vandross.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to listen again. I'm not listening to the beat. I'm going to listen to it a cappella because it's a different. I want to feel it. I really want to feel it at that moment. And again, on speaking on Kendrick and Marvin Gaye, the main song that I played was the song that he came out before the album came out. Celebrate the life when I go back around.
Yeah, you talking about the Love Part 5.
Yeah,
the Love Part 5 verse.
That was the main song I listened to.
The year that it came out, my number one song I listened to.
I listened to it. That was all I listened to from August to November. I just kept playing it. I replayed it. Nope. Kept playing it. And then, but what's the sample in it? Marvin Gaye. And that's probably why I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvin Gaye, like those is some people that stick out to me right now. The Supremes. Motown is really my thing. Supreme, and then James Brown. That's my dad's favorite artist. So I go listen to James Brown, and knowing that they actually playing the drums over and over and over. So those are my favorite. Like him, I listen to the beat. I listen because I like to hear he's doing everything. Like I like to hear that. So other than that, it's way too many artists I listen to and just pull from little things I pull from.
Man, it reminds me of
Sam Cooke.
Yo, that's so dope because again, listening to it, I was just telling my cousin this, like even with me posting on like just content on social media, people love to eat up that nostalgic sound that bring them back to a time and place, right? We seen Beyonce do it with sampling Never Let Go, and now the line dance turned into a line dance again, and now it's just modernized, which then brings forth the kids to then go back when they listen to the original and appreciate it more because Beyonce took it and created something greater in their time, but also pay homage to the original sound.
And he'd okay that too.
Yeah. Yes. And which when we get towards the end, it's some people that took, classics and didn't do it any justice, right? But yeah, I picked that up because even with the growth continues, there's still a melodic
especially track 1.
Yeah, it's like it's a melodic I'm looking for a word, like dedication to the music, which ultimately speaks to, in a sense, the softness of your very aggressive voice. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. You know what I'm saying? So it naturally, if you want to sound aggressive, aggressive. I don't think that's a word. When you want to sound intimidating or whatever, I don't know, have aggression in the sound. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you deepen your voice, right? So if you naturally have that, your music is gonna, and then you already speaking from a conscious rap perspective, your music is gonna have like an edge to it. So you soften those edges with the melodic backing of it, because you're not being melodic.
You can't.
Like you're not singing or anything. You're not 50. You're not being 50.
I actually thought about taking singing lessons though, but
I don't think that you should not think about that. I think you should think about that some more because all that does is add to your tool case. So then you get closer to that radio track that's not a radio track. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. How do you go about picking who features on your songs? Because the features, bro, when I tell you the features fit perfectly.
Appreciate
like Corey Guns on Give Up.
Appreciate it.
Between the sample and Corey, and I don't know these people. I think I know Mark Starr. I know Mark Starr. He was on The Growth Continues. But I don't know anybody else. Curtis Koch.
That's L.I. Cook the woo with the soda. You don't remember that song? WDKX?
No. I don't listen to the radio.
Oh, okay.
I don't listen to radio.
Yeah, that's early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't listen to radio. So like that, Travis, I can't see the last name.
Travis Daniels.
Travis Daniels. Like I don't. Who else? I'm missing somebody.
That song there.
Asha.
Who?
Asha?
Nope. Asia.
Yeah. My bad, Asia. My bad, Asia. Yep, Shout out because she killed.
Yeah.
On Gone Till November. Like, oh, and then what? Tania.
Tania Nicole. Yep.
I seen that name before.
Tania Nicole. Possibly, yeah.
I seen that name before somewhere on an event that I've worked or something. I'm pretty sure I've seen that name before. But so anyways, I wanted to give shout out to all of since I dropped Mark Starr, I want to make sure everybody got they love.
Got Sel and Satoya Sierra. So yeah, there was the other singers on that song too.
Which one?
The Go Continue, the intro is 5 singers on there.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you said that. 'Cause all I see is just Travis.
Nope, yep. Sel and Sierra, Satoya Sierra, Travis Daniel, Asia.
Shout out because y'all all did amazing on bringing the vision together, right? But anyways, going back to the question, how do you find the right people to fit the vibe and the style of the track?
Well, breaking news. Travis Daniel and Asia is my niece and nephew. So
okay. Breaking news. All right.
Satoya is Travis and Asia friend. She's a family friend.
Okay.
Sel is somebody I work with musically and with merch. He's close to me in my circle. Mark Starr, rapper.
Yeah, he's fired too.
Yeah, we in the same circle. We got the same dreams. He's from the city, so
yeah. Yes.
Tania Nicole, family friend again. Who else I'm missing? Selves,
Asia,
my niece.
Hey, music running the family.
Yeah, so basically, I just use what's around me, and I know who sounds.
But I was about to say, but you still got to know the sound.
Yeah,
to go
which is what I
with.
grabbed from James Brown. I know who's gonna sound this.
Yeah,
that.
James was big on
yeah,
that.
he's big.
I wanted to. This is how it need to sound, right?
Yeah,
and if you don't like it, get out.
Or pay a fine.
Pay a fine. Yeah, yes. No, that's dope. So, okay, this is a cool moment. When I was listening to The Growth Continues. Shadow boxing.
Okay.
I'm listening to
Curtis Koch. And Curtis Koch, again, he's a legend, Rochester. Legend rapper. He was with UAP in that era, yeah. So, and then
shout out.
DJ Sight made the beat from WDKX. So,
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out. I'll be like in it, but I don't be in it. So I don't know who I don't know.
Yeah.
And if I'm not in those circles, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It. And it's, I don't like to waste time on the craft. That doesn't mean that I don't know, but if I don't know who you are or I don't listen to radio,
you wouldn't.
Really
you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know, right? But cool moment when I'm listening to shadow boxing, and I believe this is the song, and you gonna correct me when I say it, but I'm listening to it and I'm like, this sounds like Wu-Tang. And as I'm walking into the store, you drop the line about Ghostface. And I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like I'm having the moment with the music.
Wait. It's 2. So shadowboxing, I dropped the line, the cream line.
Yes.
I dropped the cream line, and I don't know if you catch it, but I say a word like ODB. And the song, you probably don't catch it. The Ghostface line is Mark Starr saying that, and then me, I'm in the beginning just going off. That's Italian spaghetti.
That's Italian spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they both have that sound.
Yeah. So they have it. So I I feel like it was shadow boxing when I had the initial thought, and then I just remember hearing the Ghostface line.
Yeah, that's Mark Star. Yep.
I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm trying to, again, when I'm listening to it, I'm trying to like connect the greatness to the greatness. And the one thing that I connect the growth continues to is To Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why, now it's like a early concept of what To Pimp a Butterfly ultimately became. And the reason why is because, again, I was listening when I decided to listen to this. I was walking to the store, right? So I'm going back to that moment. I get through track 1, 2.
Go
Track
continue
1, 2, 3.
shadowboxing.
So then,
and he been so good.
Yep. So Magic Newton X come on.
Yep.
And that's the poem.
Yep.
So I'm listening to it, but it doesn't start right off. Like it's kind of like, just like if you at a show or whatever. So I'm going through it, and then I start listening to it, and that's when I got into my headphones, my AirPod Maxes, and everything. It's not really canceled out because I got to listen to what's around me. But I'm listening to it, and I'm hearing the interaction. So it reminds me of 22 Twos off of Reasonable Doubt, right? When they in the club, and and I'm just listening to it, and then you go through the poem. So then it hit me like, oh shoot, I love the combination of poetry and rap, right? Because they're one and the same. But it's also a skill to put a poem on a rap. You know what I'm saying? Or just to intertwine those two very different but same worlds. And I'm listening to it, and then it ends, but then it's like it continues to flow. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, if you would have broke that poem up and attached it similar to what To Pimp a Butterfly is. This is after To Pimp a Butterfly, so obviously the concept is already there. But if you would have like found a concept to flow, have that poem flow throughout the whole project,
which is crazy, is it's another part to it. So that's like 30 seconds of that poem.
Yo,
I cut it and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just use this part. That's crazy that you say that.
Yo, because I'm listening to it and I'm like, but I this is also a reflection, not from just listening to that track, from listening to the whole thing. So in everything that you talked about in the poem, ultimately is talked about throughout the whole project.
Yep.
So finding a way to input or intertwine elements of the poem in ways. So like the reason why I believe To Pimp a Butterfly was so good is because we were getting incomplete thoughts throughout the whole process. But we got the thought kind of was followed up by a song that expounded on that thought. But every song didn't have that incomplete thought. So you might go through the start of the poem, track ends with the poem that's going into another song that is attached to that part of the poem. But the way that kind of just flows, it just keeps you engaged. So much so that when you hear it start again, and then you also starting at the same point for the most part, right? So when you hear the actual poem, you get stuck because now you're hearing everything flawlessly, and then you hear Pac voice, right?
The interview,
So for me, I 100%, as soon as I finished listening to that, and I think I listened to it probably like twice between walking to the store and coming back. Initial thought, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Wow.
Initial thought, To Pimp a Butterfly.
I don't remember what albums I listened to at that time. Again, I got set albums, and then I don't listen to nothing new. I can't remember. And it was King Disease. That's what it was.
That's a good
It was
album.
1 and 2 at that time, I believe. And Magic. I was listening to that. That's all I was listening to.
When did you record that?
Oh. You said where?
No. When did you record it? Oh, did you record it in 2020? Because it say it released in
2022, and Italian Spaghetti was the last song on that.
Okay.
So that was like 2 weeks before I dropped that. Maybe 2.5 weeks.
Dope. Dope.
So that's all I was listening to. It was King Disease, Nas, that whole time.
Yeah, so like I said, that one, the growth continues between To Pimp a Butterfly and 90s, like Wu-Tang. It gave me a Wu-Tang vibe.
I definitely appreciate that. Yeah,
that.
I just wanted to prove. So the Art of Growth that came out before that, I just wanted to prove I can rap. Right. I say, okay, I proved it a little bit. you go back and you critique yourself. So then the growth continues, which is 2 years after the art of growth. I said, oh no, I need to step it up a notch. This is 2 years later. And so I said, I want to come with a different approach. I want to challenge myself. Like, so that's where the 5 singers come. I never did that before. That's a challenge. Let me try that. Um, that's where rapping with legends like DJ Sight and Curtis Cole. Okay, now let me take it up another notch and let me do a poem. So the poem was actually influenced by I can't remember his name. He played in The Cosby Show. Michael, what his name?
Don't give me the line.
But he played in The Cosby Show. I heard The Breakfast Club. It's an interview in The Breakfast Club. And like he has a poem album. I said, you know what? I need to do that too. I got poems. So I just started saying poems while I'm at work. I'm saying poems and stuff. I said, oh wow. That poem I need to go home and record. So that's exactly what I did. Went home, recorded. And those voices is me. That's me just showing off that I got a sense of humor. That's yeah. That's me doing that just to show off I got a sense of humor. I'm not just serious and again my voice is deep. So I joke around as well, but at the same time, there's a seriousness to me.
Yeah.
So if you listen to the poem, you hear like, oh, he's really saying something. It's not just
Yeah.
a whole joke. So that was my whole point with that poem, that Magic X Newton, and then again X Newton. So that was like I was sitting in the stand and I'm talking to people. That's how I envision everything. And then you got the older folks. Oh, what are you talking about? Hey, that's why.
Oh, he really talking about something.
So that was my whole point of that. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, that mean that you grew up around older cats. Yeah, because you only get that. Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, they talking while the person trying to talk. You trying to hear? You shut up.
What are you talking about? Shut up right now. I'm trying to listen. Turn that TV up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nah, that is fire. Yeah, that's 100% like first take. Just listening to it, listening through. That's actually what I told my cousin that's here. Where we do a lot of hip hop education stuff. Like, yo, the second one, the first one gives me late 90s, early 2000 vibes. 7 tracks, easy listen. The second one, it reminds me of To Pimp a Butterfly.
I appreciate that.
Like a early version of what the concept probably was before it was even
finished,
right?
Yeah.
But that's so. Real quick, and then we'll kind of go into the last section of the show. How do you go about recording other people? So, like, do you send the track? Like, do you send the file? They record it, they send it back, or like, do some artists want to like record with you?
So, Corey, that was obviously sending it. He sent me the verse back. Asia, that song with Asia. So I had my verse 20% done, right? I didn't know. We were just thinking of a idea. I wanted to actually be like it's me and her, like going back and forth. What you hear on the song? What's that? So I went to Atlanta in October, and we went to the studio together, and she did her part, and that's how I gained the rest of the verse. Like, okay, we on the same path. Like we got the same idea when it comes to this beat, the feeling of the beat. So that's how that song came out. Mark Starr, we always wanted to collab together. So and it beat that song is no hook. So it's just rap. Go ahead, rap. Rap is good as you can rap. Just show your lyricism. The growth continues, that intro song. Again, I wanted to challenge myself. So my nephew sings, Selves sing, Asia sing, family friends, Satoya sing. Why not put them all on one song and see what you can get, and be different at the same time? So when you hear this beat, what do it give you? Oh, it give you kind of like a churchy vibe. All right, that's what I'm gonna go for. And so me and Travis Daniel, we went and we wrote the hook together. And so he laid it down. Well, the verse is already done. So the verse is done and then have a hook. And that's when we both went, listened to the verse and then came up with the hook. Who else I collab with? Kurt. And that was a back and forth, just emailing each other. That was that. But again, we sat down and we came up with the idea. and then I just take the idea and go and record it myself. Because I don't record in front of people because I need to be myself. So if I wanted, I can never make that poem in front of somebody because I wouldn't be myself. I wouldn't feel myself, my authentic self. All that making the voices, doing the voice acting and stuff, I wouldn't be able to do that in front of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think Missy Elliott, that's why I think she was so great, because she didn't record in front of people.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she didn't record in front of people. Like she said, nobody really seen her record. Timbaland probably seen her like once. Only person that really seen her record was engineering. So that what made me more confident. Like, oh, I'm not the only person that do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what made her so great. Like she can be her authentic self. And then when she want to present it to the world, she already, she threw with it. Like, oh, I already did that. Some people already heard it already. I'm cool with it. So now I can go perform it. So that's what I think I am as an artist. Like, oh, okay. I heard this 30,000 times. I'm okay with you listening to it now. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared for you to hear this or try to laugh at it. But at the same time, it's still an art. So whatever paint I picture, whatever picture I paint, that's the right word? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever picture I paint, I already looked at it and examined it like, yeah, I like this. And then I put it out to the world. So whatever you say, I don't really care because I liked it. And that's what really mattered to me.
That's fire. Now that I think about it, Missy.
Yeah, all that aim. Yeah.
I can't feel the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, it's my window. Yo, that's okay. That makes a lot of sense. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't put Missy in certain categories. That's because you ain't experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Timberland talks so highly of her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was doing things that he didn't even see at that time. Yeah, that's fire. Wow. Okay.
She in there by herself, just vibing out.
I get it though. Because that's a skill to kind of like do your craft in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a skill to release your craft to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when I first started doing the pod, like it's an awkward moment just starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once you in it, it's cool, but it's an awkward moment starting because it's like, all right, so get ready, we about to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get ready, and then I got to do my thing, and I'm performing. You know, peace, love, and all that good stuff, all that. Like I'm performing because I've done this, but it's everybody don't got that.
No,
and everybody can't do it, but that don't mean that they can't complete their craft. You know, in the confines of where they are. And other people, they feed off of that though. Like they feed off of people egging them on, and like Chris Brown talked about that. How he have women in the studio primarily because they help him get his art out. You know what I'm saying? So
Bill, it's whatever push your confidence, whatever that gets you there. Like me, it comes from, damn, I might have to talk about this in a song. Me, it comes from me being a kid. So you know how your teacher used to ask, what you want to be when you grew up? Yeah. You never put what you really wanted to be.
No,
because you
I
think people
to be a computer engineer.
You thought people would laugh at you, right?
Stuff, yeah.
That's where it stemmed from. But at the same time, I was performing with martial art. I was performing in front of 100 people, and I was breaking out of that. So why can't I do that with what I really want to be passionate about? So I just dig into my younger self.
You just opened Pandora's box.
I digged into my younger self and told my younger self, you need to be ashamed of yourself for not being who you really wanted to be that whole time.
Right.
And so this is now me as an adult. Like I can't be that younger self no more. Now me putting out the music is making my younger self smile. He's happy. Like, look at you. You doing it. You doing everything that you wanted to be. You should have wrote on that paper what you really wanted to be. You shouldn't have hid that from nobody.
Yeah.
So now that's why I feel good. I feel great. I feel blessed. Like I'm able to do something like that and not make my past self, where from me to you come from, not make my past self upset. Again, that survival greater than love. That's me speaking about my perspective is my parents, like, and my relationship. She used to tell me, you're not affectionate. You're not this. You're not that. But the reason from that is because of my younger self. I wasn't told I love you. I wasn't walking in the house, I love you. I wasn't told that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you go back to my mom and my father passed, everybody, like, that's the thing. And that's why I say it's perspective. People be mad at their parents for certain things, like not doing this and that. But in reality is they had a life too. You can't judge them from what they had in their life, and they still have a life when you come. So back to what I was saying, I said all that to say this: they would survive. They survived their whole childhood. So how is that going? What you think is going to happen to me? I'm gonna learn how to survive. If they was learned off love, I would have been a person that was built or grown up off love, but I'm not that. They built out survival. My dad lived in Florida, and I don't want to say his age, but he lived a tough life in Florida, like rats, and he dealt with segregation and stuff like that. My mom, she young age, she was taking care of herself. All that is survival. And survival is different stems of survival. So that's where that come from. And then that affects my relationship now, because now I'm not affectionate. I don't know nothing about affection. Like growing up, I didn't tell my homeboys love you.
Yeah.
No, that's weird. Now I try, but I still don't do it. It's still, I'm not used to it. So that's where the perspective of that song come from. Miseducation of Magic. I wouldn't be able to do that in front of people, because some people still don't believe, like some people don't realize that's going on in this country, that colorism is a real thing. But I built, again, me talking to my past self. That's me talking to me as a kid. I used to get joked and picked on as a kid for being so dark skinned. So at a point, I'm like, oh man, I'm really just Mr. Ugly Man from Living Color. That's who I am. I'm Mr. Ugly Man. So how I'm gonna deal with this? I just walk around now I'm not being told I love you, and I'm getting picked on.
Right.
And not just by friends, this is family members too. So now just think about that, just that trauma, what it do to you when you get to adult. And then when you go to women, and then you meet other women that's lighter than you, or people you just walking around in high school and you just getting picked on. How am I supposed to deal with that?
Yo, you just dropped so many gems. I gotta turn this camera back on. We're gonna listen to Survival Greater Than Love.
Yeah.
So, yo, we're gonna listen to it while I fix this camera.
The facade.
I don't know about love, baby. I'm built on survival. You sticking around cause you love me, and that's a problem. You told me that my time almost up. The hourglass almost filled up to the bottom. Not affectionate. That was the extra shit. I don't know why we argue. If you miss me, just tell me. You not just toxic, you crazy. Little delusional. I just feel like I'm losing you, baby. Man, this remind me of the time before when love claimed that it loved me. Left me all alone, and now my house is not a home to me. Survival always chosen me to be that person. I reach my surface where love don't even got no purpose. Bitch, I don't know about love, baby. I'm built on survival. You sticking around cause you love me, and that's a problem. You told me that my time almost up. The hourglass almost filled up to the bottom. It's a thin line between love and hate, and I hate love. Why the love feels so fake, but the lust feels so real. I was traumatized as a kid. I was hardly told that I love you. Who knew that I would grow up and it forced me to struggle? To communicate, express myself, doubt myself, lost myself, find myself, trying to love somebody else. I didn't love myself. This is the shit they be talking about with mental health. Love is wealth, love is health, love is self, love is cold, love is soul. To people with their hearts open, I keep my heart closed, I want my heart broken. I don't know about love, baby. I'm built on survival. You sticking around cause you love me, and that's a problem. You told me that my time almost up. The hourglass almost filled up to the bottom. I don't know about love, baby. I'm built on survival. You sticking around cause you love me, and that's a problem. You told me that my time almost up. The hourglass almost filled up to the bottom.
Yo, that's funny. Maybe I connect with that song on a deeper level because I too am told that I'm not affectionate, and both my parents was in survival.
That's where it come from. You're not taught that. I'm not walking in the house and getting a hug. It's a greeting, of course, it's my parents.
Yeah.
And they from the South. Of course, you gotta walk in. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to go give my mom a hug and kisses. I wasn't raised off that. And that's not their fault at all. They did a great job with me.
No, yeah,
They did a great job.
Yeah, and even to that point, it's not. It's not like I didn't get I love. Like even to this day, I don't think my dad ever really says he loves me.
No,
You know what I'm
I can
saying?
remember
Like,
him saying it, but
yeah, say it, but it's not like like it's certain dads out there.
It's
It's
not
like, yo,
normal.
I love you, son.
Mhm.
Son, I love you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's some that's like, you know,
Mhm.
you never seen your dad, you know, cry.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like same thing. My mom is a rock.
Mhm.
I can count on one hand, half a hand, how many times I see my mom cry.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like part of that like need to be strong
Mhm.
kind of goes into that love or survival greater than love type thing, because at the end of the day, my mom was working 2 jobs,
Mhm.
you know, trying to, and she did say, I know, my mom said she loved me now all the time,
Mhm.
but it's different now because it's less stress because you ain't raising 3 kids.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, it kind of takes me back to this conversation I had in my role as national coordinator. We had this therapist come,
Mhm.
black therapist, black man, and he said something that was like the most profound thing I've ever heard, and I never connected those dots. And he said, you know, women tell, like mom, because single mom households, right? Tell boys to man up,
Mhm.
but then ask their man why they can't express themselves to him.
Right. Right.
So when he said that, I'm sitting here like, wow, how did
Right.
I not think about these things? And yo, even if I'm listening to him, you sticking around because you love me, and that's a problem.
Mhm. Yeah.
I say all the time, love not enough.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like love has stipulations,
Mhm.
right? Love is conditional unless you like your kid,
Mhm.
like unless you have a kid.
Yep.
That's when it's unconditional. You're
Yep.
gonna always
That's
do.
where it changed for me.
That's yeah, but
My son.
on top of that though, love is conditional. Umar was just talking about this on the show where it's like, yo, we love out of condition.
Mhm.
You get too fat, I can't love you no more. If you do this, I can't love you no more.
Mhm.
But when real love is unconditional, you typically feel that real love with kids.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you have kids, I don't have kids, but I have unconditional love for the kids that I've engaged with
Mhm.
on that level. But I don't have the unconditional love that is of something
Mhm.
that came from me. You know what I'm saying? And you just said like, yeah, when you had your son, it was like
That's when it changed.
it's a different type of love that you experience because here is this thing, this person that I will do anything for at a drop of a dime.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we don't tend to talk about how love is not enough. Because even for him, love is not enough.
No. Time and love is not the same thing.
Not at all.
No, time.
Not at all.
Clothes, all that material stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's so small, especially for a kid.
Minute.
That's so small, very small. So again, that's when it changed for me when I had my son, and then I realized I always analyze myself, like, what did I do wrong in that relationship?
Mm-hmm.
What was she constantly saying? Oh, you're not affectionate. Okay, I wasn't, but I tried. And that's another thing. I tried and you didn't.
You wasn't receptive.
You wasn't, yeah. Because it's not, I'm being awkward a little bit, but you're not even trying to, like, you doing good. You didn't give me that. So that's why I'm like, damn, look who I am.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, it is like, is it? I mean, I do want it. Don't get me wrong. Everybody want love. You want somebody, you lay in bed and you by yourself. You think about it like, damn, somebody's supposed to be here. Like, body is supposed to be felt.
All right. I'm supposed to be sweating.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm getting to the point where I am trying to be affectionate now. Like, okay, that's my problem. Now let me try to fix it. Let me try to grab your hand or listen to what's your love language so I can speak your love language, which is going to November.
Yeah.
I want to speak your love language.
Oh, so do you think that you practicing affection through vulnerability of your music?
Again, the beginning of the intro, I said I'm healing.
Huh.
I said I'm healing.
That is a way to practice.
And the solution is I need some time alone. That's what I said in the intro. I need some time alone. I'm healing. I'm healing. So I take that, like, I know what I did wrong. I'm messed up. What I did, not as a person. I messed up. So, but I'm out to fix it and become a better person. I'm only a certain amount of age. I ain't gonna say my age, but I'm only a certain amount of age. I'm young. Like, I'm still learning. What I said in that episode, in episode 55, you said, is not probably the same way I'm thinking now. And then again, that goes against the growth. That's my growth. That's my mindset growing. I'm becoming more mature. Even with the survivor love, I'm just maturing. Like, okay, I understand it. I get it. It's cool. But how am I going to fix it? How am I going to, how am I going to go about it? Am I going to be mad at my parents about it? Or am I just going to take that? Because love is not something you're born with. You can learn love.
Yeah.
So I'm straight. I could just learn it. The right person would pull that out of me learning love. So I'm not worried about that.
They got to be a teacher too, though.
Exactly. You do have to be a teacher and also have to be a student. Everybody have to be a teacher and a student.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. But I know for a fact that it starts with me first.
Facts.
So that's where I'm at with the healing and where I'm at with life and survival of love. And so again, it's different perspectives because a lot of people have a different perspective of it.
That's fire. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's fire. And that's probably why, because again, I didn't have daddy issues.
Me either. And I'm grateful for having both parents in the house. Yeah.
And it wasn't, see, you had it in the house. I didn't have them in the house. But to this day, they have a great relationship.
Yeah.
It's just like, it wasn't.
But that probably stemmed from where you know what love is. Even without them being, you know 100%. What love is. So 100%. It's like, oh, I could do better. Right. Because they did it.
Right.
Even if they were surviving.
Yo, my, not to cut you off.
No, you go ahead.
My ideology around co-parenting comes from my parents. Like, I always, when I talk to people, or when I'm talking to anybody, or in a relationship, I intentionally have the conversation around co-parenting because anything's possible, right? And a lot of times that rub people the wrong way. Like, yeah, why are we talking about co-parenting? Like that, I'm like, nah, because that's a reality. Even if you're in the same house, you still have to co-parent. Yeah. If I say no for the cookies, but you say yes, that's an issue. Yeah, it's an issue between us, right? So co-parenting has always been a thing, and it was never a time where my mom said yes and my dad said no. Or my dad said no and my mom said yes. Now there was different stylistic approaches. So like my dad didn't like the cursing and watching things that's got a bunch of heavy cursing in it and all the music. Like he didn't let us listen to the Black Album.
I didn't listen to hip hop with my dad. I listened to James Brown and Luther Vandross.
My dad was the same way.
Yeah. My mom was the hip hop. My mom listened to Trick Daddy.
Yeah, my mom was the Simpsons and Trick Daddy and Trina and she bought me
to a certain extent. She
Welcome
ain't
to
go
Atlanta and
she ain't go all the way there with it. But there were certain songs I hear like, oh, Petey Pablo. I'm hearing
my mom from Florida.
See, my grandmother is from Florida.
My back playing in the car. You know what I'm saying?
My dad is from Florida. My grandma was from Florida, but my mom, we'd travel to Florida all the time. So my mom, you know, going back and forth when she was a kid, she had some of those ways with her. Yeah. So those ways instilled with her, and she's a kid. That's how she probably was able to survive at such a young age, taking care of her nieces and her siblings as well. And she's the baby at that.
Yo, that's such a point of reflection. We can go. That'll take us into a whole nother hour. I'm definitely gonna have you back on the show for that.
Yeah, for sure.
For that type of conversation, because that's a real, maybe even like breaking down some of that, like even the colorism piece. How to Be an Anti-Racist by, I can never remember his name. Whatever, I'll put it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But he talks about that and how even though we can't be racist as Black people, we extend a hand to continue the prejudice through our language. Yeah. So I remember when we used to, I mean, I'm dark skinned, but I'm not dark skinned. Like I'm not, like my mom is your complexion, probably. I'm dark, but I'm not.
No, you don't go as a brown skin. You go as a dark skin.
You know, I don't I'm still dark skinned, but you know, it's levels, you know what I'm saying? But I remember.
I'm glad you said that.
I remember calling. I remember calling the darker like African booty scratchers.
Booty
and stuff.
scratchers, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like when I read it it was until I read it in the book where I was like, oh shoot.
No, think about that, right? How many times you said that? You probably don't remember how many times you said it.
It wasn't a lot because I was still like,
no, think how many times you heard it.
oh,
Now think how many times I heard it.
yo, I remember a girl that we used to talk about her skin tone.
Now look at the world now. Everybody love dark skin. Everybody want to be dark skin.
100%.
But
that's the programming of
the media got
the
you
media,
to think
the
like
world,
that.
the socialization of how we are
Like,
taught to engage.
And that song,
each
you know,
other.
I didn't realize in that song until I said it. It just popped up in my head and I said it. Was the even told us that black cats was bad luck. You ever realize like black cats is not bad luck? They actually was with kings and queens and pharaohs.
Right.
But why would you tell us that black cat out of all cats is bad luck?
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
Why would you tell us the black cat out of all cats, the cat that was the most important cat to kings and the gods and stuff like that? They sat there. If you look at old pharaohs, they sat right there next to the pharaoh.
Even Anubis.
Yeah, exactly.
Anubis is a black cat technically, and he actually preserves you after death.
Exactly.
He protects you in the afterlife.
Now, how is that bad luck? And is this only in America? Because they don't say that. I don't never hear them say that overseas. So how is this bad luck? And we used to really believe that. Don't look at the black cat. You're gonna get bad luck.
Yeah. Yes. Don't look at the black cat. Don't let it crush you.
Don't let it. Yeah. Why is it the black cat?
Yeah.
Now you think of that. Now think of a dark skinned person or a real dark person. Shit. Oh.
Yeah. Scaring you.
Scary. Yeah. Oh, he's scary. He's ugly. Or he's,
and the darker the skin tone, the more dangerous.
They're more dangerous. Yeah. Now think about me having a hoodie on.
Can't see nothing.
Can't.
They like, oh, you don't got no face.
Yeah, you get that though. You get that.
But, nah, for real. Like, that's funny, but it's like that's the reality of it.
Last thing I'm gonna say about that, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. There's an incident that happened a couple months ago. Right, they brought it up to me and it just refreshed my mind. We in here, we doing an event, whatever, and a white man came up to me and said, "Oh man, I didn't even see you standing there. You look like a mannequin." He said, "Oh, I didn't see you standing there." Mind you, he's standing right next to me for like a good 10 minutes. "Oh, I didn't see you standing there. You look like a mannequin." It's just a joke, dude.
White people out of pocket.
It's just a joke, dude. You thought that was funny.
I don't even think we joke like that.
No, that's not.
We do something that's more practical, like turning off the light because you can't see nobody.
Can't see, yeah, exactly. Which I say in the song. Turn off the lights and everybody laugh. I say that in the song.
That's a fact. You did say that in the song.
Yeah, I say that in the song. Oh. But he came up to me and said, "I didn't even see you standing there. You like a mannequin."
And you know how not sense that makes? I don't know why I said that.
You know how bad I wanted to
most mannequins
snatch his ass up?
Most mannequins is white.
Right. But then you have your dark skin with the black ones, but you really didn't.
You know, I'm gonna find it. My homegirl sent it to me. There's an article that says, back in the day, I don't remember when it was. Don't quote me on this, y'all. But there was a thing going around where people were scared of shadows.
Yep.
So shadows amounted. So obviously shadows are pitch black.
Yep.
So the darker your skin, the more close to the shadow you was, which is what started that whole thing around the darker the skin, the more scary you are.
Yep.
Huh. I'm gonna post that so y'all could so y'all could read it. I'm gonna find it.
There's so much.
Yo,
it's so much. Especially with just being dark skinned, it's so much.
Oh, I know.
It's a whole nother world. Like when people, again, the level, that's what I want to bring up.
Yeah, the levels.
Like brown skinned people, it's a lot of brown skinned people or light skinned people. I'm dark skinned. No, you're not. You didn't go through what we went through.
Right.
Not even close.
Right.
Not close. And I probably been more talented than you was, but you got picked and I didn't. Yeah. Because you were light skinned.
Which kind of goes to the conversation that we was talking about with like Lotto and the women's game in particular, where, you know, a lot of the top, besides Meg, a lot of the top artists right now is light skinned.
The light skin, yeah.
Ice Spice, Lotto.
Yep.
Nicki
Because it's still STEM like that. Still
versus like a Rhapsody
is a
who's
thing.
dark skin.
Dark skin, yeah.
And she nicer than everybody I just named.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still eating.
Oh, of course.
Oh, she writing. I'm pretty sure she writing.
She got a new album coming
Pen and
out.
all that. Word.
Yeah.
Listen.
I think it's next month.
What was
she just posted
the last
not too
album
long
she
ago.
had with all of the women's name, Afeni and all that?
Yep.
Yo, fire.
Yeah.
Classic. Top to bottom. I don't
That first
skip,
album.
I don't skip no song.
Classic.
Listen, I gotta go back and just listen. That's on my
The song with her and Busta Rhymes on Busta Rhymes' album. Ridiculous.
Yo, if y'all don't listen already, go listen to Rhapsody. Rhapsody's fire.
Yes.
Rhapsody's fire. Okay, so I'm gonna read off some 5 names. I want you to see. I want to see if you remember or know what these is. Big Pac, Nas, Hove, 3 Stacks, Pun.
Oh, that's a top 5 list.
Whose?
Complex. Yours? I don't know who list that is.
That's yours.
Mine. Wait, I had to think about it. Big Pun. Yeah. That's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, Pun, 3 Stacks, Hove,
Yeah.
Nas. You put Big and Pac as 1.
One, yeah. That's what got me, the Big Pac. I'm like, that's what got me. But when you said Pun, when I thought about it and said Pun, yeah.
Does that still stand?
That still stands.
Right now, that's your 5.
That's my 5. That is still my 5.
You got to pick one, Big or Pac. I understand, but we evolve over here.
Okay.
The growth continues.
Yeah.
Big or Pac.
Big.
Or, okay. Does Pac stay and you push one out?
No.
So then Pac goes to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, your 5 is not in no particular order, but
No.
Because then he would have to. Is he at the top of your next 5 or?
I probably put. This is the problem.
This is the problem.
This is the problem. 3 Stack is Outkast, right? He finally dropped his solo album. That don't count. It's not rap, right? Big Pun has 1 album, Capital Punishment, right? Tupac has 4. Not after death, as I use a lot. 4. Shake Me from my niggas. 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
Big. Who else ought I kicked out? Okay,
Nas, Hove.
No, Nas, Hove stay. Those 2 with those albums, the Outkast and then the 1 album, that's where it get tricky. Because
so how are you making this? Is this an objective list, or what are you measuring? Because for the most part, this is standing the test of time between 2018 and now.
The feel, the lyricism, influence.
So it don't
to
have,
me.
Yeah, so it don't have nothing to do with the album or discography.
No,
it has everything to do with the influence on the culture,
exactly,
and the craft. So you put Pun up there?
Pun. Have you heard somebody that rap like Pun?
No.
So what you want, Joe? How you want to blow their spot? I know these dirty cops that would get us in every murder some wop. Hop in the noodle with the panty.
Yeah. No. It's just a different perspective. You gotta now I gotta go back and listen to Pun. Because Pun
rap with Black Thought.
Yeah.
Now we talking lyricists.
Yeah.
Black Thought would be in my top 5. Pun rap with Black Thought. I don't think other did Nas do? I don't know. I have to go back. But he's probably in that top 5, the only person that rap with Black Thought. And held his own.
Listen, that is a point. That is a point to.
And this is only his first album. we don't know what that second album was gonna be like. And
Right.
then he was
Right,
getting
right.
commercial a little bit, but
I mean, but that's getting commercial with
yeah.
Joe and at some point you gonna go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
I love Pun.
Okay.
I love Pun. His lyricism, his flow, who
So-
he was, his personality, who he was as a person, his
So-
story.
Yeah, I don't think that you would. I would think Pac would have to go 6. You're not
That
pushing,
is-
'cause
but
you're
then I
not-
love Pac's story. I like, but the thing is, with Pac, I always put Biggie over Pac. I always did because I love the lyricism. Like Biggie was having so much fun. Pac was so
Yeah, he was hyper focused on his thing.
yeah. But then I get older, and it's like, oh, he was standing up for me.
Mhm.
He was
Mhm.
rapping for me.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not saying just being black, but being dark skinned as well. He's rapping for me. That's
Mhm,
that's the
mhm.
tricky part about it. Because him being a Black Panther and what they did, then I look at his mom and like, oh, look what she did. Like, so it's tough.
But that goes subjective. That's going subjective, man. That
It's
is a
tough.
subjective thing right there.
If I had to pick though, I'll probably put 3 Stacks out because it's not a solo album.
But
Unless you want to call Speaker Box that side B his solo album, but it's still an Outkast project.
it is, but him as the artist is like, you haven't seen a 3 Stacks. You haven't seen another 3 Stacks before and after. He's done.
No. You haven't seen a Nas. You haven't seen a Hove.
And you won't.
No.
Just like you won't see, like,
You won't see it. You haven't seen a Pun. I don't
Nah.
probably yet. No.
Mm-mm.
Stacks. And we would never see those.
You
You,
can't
would never see a Biggie, you never see a Pop because they invented a whole different type of rap.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna see a lot of these are besides 3 Stacks. A lot of these was birthed in the Mecca, in the city,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pac had influence,
Mm-hmm.
but Pac was influenced on the West.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of his substance comes from
Yeah.
obviously the Panthers and the
Mhm.
Feeny, and so there's a different element to what he brought on top of, like, on the cinema side and just what he brought to the table.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's a good question.
But I will never take 3 Stacks off my top 5.
3 Stacks because he did what he want
And he was successful in doing
and doing what
what
he
he
want.
And then when he got the, what was it, rap album of the year,
Mm-hmm.
he said, I told y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we here to
The
stay.
South got something to say, and then look what he did.
And he birthed a sound that can never be duplicated.
No. People try.
Oh, 100%.
A lot.
They try, but
J. Cole is heavily influenced by 3 Stacks, if you haven't noticed.
yeah. And his lyricism, Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that Cole, he come from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So proximity to Atlanta.
Damn, you got me thinking. I don't know.
But that ponder on that. Ponder on that, because that,
Maybe Pun. I'll put Pun at 6. Now that I think about it, because he was himself. 3 Stacks was himself. He sing and he rap. And if
And
he
he
wanted
play
to go do
instruments.
Hey Y'all, he went and did Hey
Yeah.
Y'all. And he didn't care what
with a
nobody
press,
said.
hot press.
And whatever he wanted to wear and the wig he wanted to wear, he's going to put that on.
Yeah. And that all came into, like, I'm pretty sure he helped Big Boy write. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
He wrote for
Which they got the whole Dungeon Family.
you know what I'm saying?
CeeLo and, Future was
Yeah.
around at that time. Future is influenced by Outkast and Dungeon
Mhm.
Family. So it'd
Yeah,
probably be
yeah.
Pun, just because he has only one album.
So mine is 3 Stacks, Hove, Wayne, Nas, Q-Tip.
Now, let me ask you about Wayne. Why Wayne?
His influence. I don't think he gets enough credit for his influence and his lyricism. I don't think he has. Wayne is an interesting anomaly because I don't think that he has that album.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay,
I don't think that he
That
has
was my next question.
I don't think he has a classic album.
That was my next question.
He has some good songs. Like I catch myself listening to songs, pockets of songs.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a complete
Mm-hmm.
work of art. But you can't take away what he put into the craft.
No, not at all.
Like that's one of those things where it's like when I'm thinking about it objectively, Wayne has done so much in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Has been so much.
Nobody had a run like him.
Nobody had a run like him.
Or
He's
that-
been in it since he was 14 years old.
That what is that?
And he can rap with anybody.
What's Carter 2? 07, 8, something like
07.
6, maybe something. From there until Carter 3, nobody had a run like that. The drought 2, the drought 3, the drought is over, the drought over 2, the drought is over 3. Nobody had a run.
I mean, then he had Sorry for the Wait. Then
Sorry
he
for the
had
Wait.
Dedication 1, Dedication 2, Dedication 3.
And then he put out Nicki. Then he put out Drake.
Who's arguably running the game.
Well, Drake, what's his run is, what album you said?
Nothing
was the same. What was that?
That was the second album. 2010.
Okay, that's around. Yeah, because 09 is Thank You. Thank Me Later. 09, 08. So yeah, his run been from there on, to now. That's a very long run too.
13.
13? Okay, so
Nothing was the same as 13. Thank Me Later was 2010.
Okay, 2000, yeah, because 09, I had the opportunity to see Drake
So
before
Far
Drake
Gone
was Drake.
is 09.
So Far Gone is what I'm thinking about. I don't know why I'm thinking Think Me Later. So Far Gone, when I was out, no. Was it Thank Me Later? One of them, he wasn't as big as he was now.
Thank Me
and
Later.
I had
he
the
wasn't as big.
opportunity to go see him at Damon College when I was in college.
Thank Me Later was when he wasn't that big because you can look at that album and it ain't nothing on it.
Over and
it's when Marvin's Room came out. That's when he started to wait a second. Because Marvin's Room was on everything.
Yeah.
I remember that being
all the
on.
remixes and
Yeah. But yeah, Wayne had to this day, and the other thing is like mixtape Wayne is a different beast.
Yeah.
When you take somebody else's beat, don't do nothing to it, and you create a whole different song.
Like, and it might be better than that.
And it might be better. Sorry for the Wait.
What's better, Sorry for the Wait or There's No Ceilings?
Come on, man. Though we an hour and 42 minutes in. Oh man, No Ceilings.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
No Ceilings. But Sorry for the Wait was a moment in time.
Yeah.
But I'm going No Ceilings. But yeah, that's a new development as I objectively made this list. And
one more thing, Q-Tip. I heard that. Why Q-Tip?
The Tribe influenced too much.
Okay.
As a whole. But
production too.
Yeah, and I tried to stay away from because the Tribe was on my initial list. On episode 55.
I remember that.
The Tribe, but same thing. I'm not putting a group up there. Putting Q-Tip.
Okay.
I mean, Phife Dawg was good. Phife Dawg, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Man, Q-Tip though.
Tip. Okay.
It and that might change in a week. You know what I'm saying? That might change in a week.
Top 5 always changes. Top 10 always changes.
Yeah. But I think Tribe, because you think about it, like, you know, if I have, and that kind of goes back to like if in 2018, which was a moment in time, we was confused back then. If I have Eminem, he talks about how the Tribe influenced who he became. Because before Eminem was Eminem, Slim Shady, he was a conscious rapper.
Yep.
He was just a really nice rapper.
Man, I mean, you know who his favorite rapper was, right? You got Redman, and you got Tretch.
Yeah.
So of course that was that. Yeah. That's
and
where you getting that from.
On top of a bunch of the Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
He listened to a lot of that music, but yeah, I just feel like, and he's another one. Like, yeah, I'm.
So wait. Last question. I'm sorry. I know.
No, you good.
Get
You
tired.
good. No, you good.
Where is Eminem now? In your top?
No, he's top 10.
He's top 10. Okay.
No, he's top 10. He's top 10. Because you can't take away his contribution to the culture.
Yeah.
You can't take away his acknowledgement of the culture
Mm-hmm.
and him being white. Like, it's never a time where Eminem is like, I'm the man.
Mm-hmm.
He always gives it back to...
What's Rap God?
Huh?
What's Rap God?
That's a flex on skill. I mean, like, when you having a conversation with M will never say, like, I did this all by myself or whatever. He always paying homage, paying it forward, right? The only thing with M that puts him out of the top 5, if we really talking like discography, is when you can denounce your own music. That's when we start having a conversation about discography.
Okay. Not relatability.
Can we relate to Eminem music? Popping perks? You know what I'm saying? Like, our connection to Eminem is his keen attention to the craft that we created, right? He's nice. He's the white boy that, you know what I'm saying, that really could rap. 50 say it all the time. I never pick a fight with him because he's lyrically, he's one of the best to ever live, right? So our connection to M is not the music that he made or the content of the music that he made. Our connection to M is him taking our craft and paying homage to it and being good at it.
Okay.
Come on, Trapped in the Closet or and was it? No, not Trapped in the
Closet. I'm about to say R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. Cleaning out my closet. That's a bop. Right?
Do you hear what he talking about in that song?
Yes. No, that's what I'm saying though. That's a bop. The production, I mean, you got Dre in you know what I'm saying? But when you listen, like, it's a reason why he denounced it. I actually like the Marshall Mathers LP 2.
You like 2 or 1?
No, the Marshall Mathers LP 2. I think that's my favorite album.
Not
M.
the first one.
No, the first one's good.
The second one
like
is
the second
better
one,
than the first one?
I like the second one for the same reason or the same thing that you're talking about in From Me to You.
I am whatever you say I am.
Oh, I know. No, I get it.
Do you listen to what he's saying?
No. I get it.
Oh my God.
But I think so. The Marshall Mathers LP 2 was the conclusion of a run that Eminem never knew that he would end, like he would conclude. Which is why the very next album was trash.
I gotta go back and listen to it.
Eminem had to reinvent himself.
I gotta go back. What was that? What's after that? What's after 2?
I couldn't tell you because it was trash. We actually did an episode on that, and it was like so. And then it was so trash that the world said it was trash, and he had to drop Survival to remind people that he was really nice. But it was one of those. It was one of those things where it was like after he forgave his mom. That's why I said I like that Marshall Mathers LP 2 because it was a complete album of healing Eminem. But it was also closing the door to all of the pain that we experienced with him since 2000.
I'll have to go back and listen to it. And actually listen to what he's saying.
Let's see. Revival.
Oh, okay.
Revival was right after the Marshall Mathers LP 2.
What came before that LP?
Recovery. A phenomenal album. I think.
And before that was Relapse.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then Encore. And then the Eminem Show. I think actually, Recovery, classic. I think it's a classic. I think it's a classic.
Recovery, a classic. No skips.
Okay, never mind.
No skips.
Never mind. Never mind. But it's more relatable music on there.
Yes.
Because he was going through
the addict.
He was recovering from that, but he was also going through dealing with the death of Proof.
That's what. What's the group name? Not D4L.
D12.
D12. I'm calling them D4L. Damn.
Not Fabo. Yeah. So Recovery was good though too, right? But right after Recovery, he completed the healing cycle with forgiving his mom and all of that stuff. So then once you release Revival,
I gotta go back. I gotta go back and listen to it.
and when you have, I think he released Revival in 2017. Got all of the. I mean, you should have known it was trash when he had the American flag.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Like, come on, M.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you go Kamikaze, and it just.
I hated that song.
13 song album. He kind of reminded everybody who he was. He brought the Paul Skip back.
Cause wasn't that fast song? He just or did that rap guy don't mix that with?
No, that's Rap God.
Oh, okay. Then like I didn't.
He wasn't saying nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't. I'm like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, he wasn't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after that, we ain't really get too much M. I think M is kind of past the music phase of life.
I don't think so. I think he gonna pull like one or two more. I think Hove pulling out another one.
I actually just read something that Hove is working on an album for this year. Or planning to drop an album.
Yeah, Rock Nation said that they didn't hear nothing about that. That's news to them.
Rock Nation said that was news to them?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I seen exactly. It's a picture of a producer said Jay-Z album 2024.
Well, it was a few people. They said a few people were supposed to be dropping albums.
Yeah, I seen that. And then the year go through and they never dropped.
Yeah, nah, that's why people been waiting for Rihanna album for years.
Yeah. Anti is a classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classic.
We gonna have to make a playlist
Classic
of classic music albums.
Last one. What's the last? Oh. So I gotta change my question now. What's the last classic R&B male album?
The last classic male
R&B album.
I couldn't tell you.
Usher Confession.
That's funny because I'm thinking about current.
It's
I 100% agree.
There's nothing that's touching that. Bryson Tiller was good.
He didn't write it.
It's not.
R. Kelly is all over that first album. And his second album wasn't that good.
It's not Confessions. I had an argument with my nephew. I'm telling you.
They said, you know what? It's crazy because I thought about Bryson Tiller because that was the last album that like really.
Trap Soul?
Yeah. Trap Soul, not the second one.
Second one, iffy.
But R. Kelly is all over that first album.
Really? I never knew that.
You can hear the backgrounds.
He's in the background?
No, like
like the influence.
Yeah, the writing. I'm pretty sure he wrote a lot of that music.
I go back and listen to that.
Like if you grew up listening to R. Kelly, and then you listen to Trap Soul,
I gotta go back and listen to that.
The runs, the backgrounds.
I mean, is he still the king of R&B?
R. Kelly?
Yeah. Is he still? You can't stop. You can't. You can't not what he done. What's done is done. Yeah, musically.
Chocolate Factory is amazing.
Yeah, I remember. Man, he just brought me back to my childhood.
Chocolate Factory. Yeah. My mom used
to play that all the time.
Chocolate Factory.
The yellow disc with the
amazing album. Amazing album. Steps in the Name of Love. Amazing album. And I can say that because a lot of that was grown music. It's not that like
no.
It's not that music that you was influenced by a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
unfortunately. Gotta start using allegedly.
I mean he's in jail for
it. Jail for it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You use allegedly for like Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, allegedly.
There's 2 more women that came out talking about on the Lovecraft set. He was being
that show was so good. I'm so mad that they let that show go.
It's black leads.
Sci-fi, like, come on.
It's black leads.
Man.
They're not gonna
that show. And then Michael K. Williams gone. So it wouldn't even be nothing no more.
Yeah.
Because he's gone.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah. Appreciate you for coming to the show.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you studying for sure.
Yeah, when I say things, I mean it.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it.
And it ain't no, like, I do this. I teach hip hop in a different. Obviously, when I say I teach hip hop, it's one of those things where I take different elements of the culture
Mm-hmm.
and I bring it into the education space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the creator of that.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Emden and his team, they do hip hop education. What I do is I take it from my understanding of hip hop
Mm-hmm.
and I infuse it in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, the cipher. The cipher is something where it don't matter how good you are or how good you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
When you do a cipher, you go to the center of the circle, half circle, and you talk your talk.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody cheer you on. It's leading with love, grace, and some innovation depending on your delivery, whatever. Then you go back to the half circle and the next person go.
It's the soul train.
Yeah,
Dance train.
And the soul train.
Everybody just having fun.
Or the dance circle
Mm-hmm.
where you next person up.
Mm-hmm.
You do your thing and everybody loving you. And that's
we
what I
embracing your bravery, your courage.
Yep, and they egging you on to do what you do, how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, what they do, next time you do that, I want you to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you did it good. It was great. This how you can be better.
Mm-hmm.
That is elements of hip hop. So I teach that in so many different ways at the national level.
Mm.
Like I call my national calls work group ciphers. Primarily because it's just one of those things where it's like we have to make sure that we're aligning things that's culturally relevant
Mm-hmm.
to the people that we're talking to and all of that stuff. So that's why I say I teach hip hop once a month.
And that's definitely
least.
appreciated. Definitely.
And-
They try to wipe hip hop out of history a minute ago. So
Yeah. And we just got off the 50th,
mm-hmm.
Birthday of hip hop.
Exactly.
So
And all the things we've been through with the Grammys and
yeah,
what
man.
they said it wouldn't be, and now look, it's the number one genre.
A lot of what influence hip hop is of history.
Exactly.
Right? And a lot of what's running hip hop now is not even directly associated with hip hop.
Not at all.
50.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to be a hip hop artist because he can always speak his mind,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also an exec that influenced me to write.
But him being that hip hop artist gave him the leverage to say whatever he want and not get
he
canceled.
says it all the time.
Yeah,
I will never label
because
myself
he was
as
himself
a
the whole
businessman.
time. He ain't portrayed to be somebody else. He was literally himself.
Yeah, bro. I don't even. First of all, appreciate the gifts. I got candle.
Yes, sir.
Did you like buy this or y'all make it or what?
So basically someone made candles. I said I want my own scent, and she made my own scent.
Oh, this your scent.
Yeah, it's my own scent. The scent is called Yep.
The scent is called the art of
Blessings.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings, the art of growth. I'm gonna get a link and drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's on the
Yep.
right there for people listening. Beautifulvibesproducts.com.
Yep. She made the candle. Yep.
And then Brody brought me some merch. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Go and get your Magic Gretzky merch.
And that's with my partner Made by Mav, who's on the back of it.
I knew I seen this before.
Yeah.
That's my bro.
Yeah.
That's
we
my
had
bro.
conversations about you.
Yeah, that's my bro.
So that's definitely my part. He helps me. He's somebody on my team that I definitely appreciate.
Yeah, because I was about to say,
lot.
yo, who make these for you? Because it just looked
Yeah,
familiar.
it's him.
With the quote.
Yeah.
I did the first Made by Math photo shoot.
Oh, really?
Product launch.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yep.
And we all said that Victory Lap was gonna win a Grammy before it even released.
Mm-hmm. I said the same thing. I was disappointed in the results, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah,
appreciate you. I don't even know how we brothers now. It's over. We brothers now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Y'all already. First of all, drop your socials.
Everything: Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. What's the other one? TikTok. Magic Gretzky, MAGICGRETZKY. On everything. No spaces, no nothing, all one word.
Again, appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, man. For real. Thank you.
Y'all already know. Bring another set of ears for next week's show. This is Introspective Insight, the Black Wall Street podcast, and we out. See you soon. Come back next week. Introspective inside. Introspective inside.